South Africa might be famous for many things: the 2010 World Cup, the wildlife, Nelson Mandela. But dampening the spirit of the country is the frequent occurrence of identity theft. The economy loses about 1 billion rand each year to this crime. The Council for Scientific and Industrial Research has developed new technology to combat identity theft.
In South Africa, we are, according to Statistics South Africa, we are about 50 million. And there are standards. You remember when you apply for your identity documents, you impress all your 10 fingers. Those people were not just playing around. It is standardized that you need to impress all of your 10 fingers. So if you have 50 multiplied by 10, it's something like 500 million templates stored in a database. And if you are to search without a fingerprint classifier, you are going to take quite some time, which I suspect it might be the current situation facing most departments.
What makes this innovation different is that it uses structural classification. It can correctly classify a fingerprint with only partial information.
You remember during the olden days when you are applying for your identity document, you used to roll your fingerprints. What that means is that you capture all the information there. But nowadays they no longer roll their fingerprints. They use scanners, which means you are dealing with slapped fingerprints. This classifier actually talks to the current situation that we are facing, because you can't re-enroll everybody in the country. Enrollment is a very costly exercise. So what they have to do is that they have to take those fingerprint scans from pieces of papers and digitize them. Those are rolled images. And then when you get there, you slap your finger, you miss a delta, you are not going to be identified. So this says we cater for both the old way of doing things, because this classifier, when faced with a situation where it has captured all the information, it will classify you correctly. When faced with a situation where you slap your finger and you are missing information, it will still classify you. This immediately talks to the current situation at our Department of Home Affairs.
In essence, the system uses the information presented to segment large databases into smaller sections, narrowing down the search significantly.
The system gets presented with the fingerprint, and you do a bit of pre-processing such as segmentation, contrast enhancement, computing the orientation image. You see these ridges here, these white ridges. You can actually compute the local orientation of each and every ridge. And after you have done that, you can be able to detect what we call the singular points. The singular points, we have two types, the core and the delta. Your core is actually the innermost turning point of your fingerprint loop, and the delta is where your fingerprint the ridges tend to form a triangulation of some sort, but this is not captured here. It's sitting somewhere here on the edge, which is something that makes this system different. After you have detected the singular points, you can then use the coordinate geometry of those singular points to classify.
The team was approached by the Department of Science and Technology to develop the system. The hope is that it will soon be implemented in government departments to streamline processes and, of course, end identity theft.